joke side of things, Des, I'm not going to ask you to tell a joke right now, but if you had to look back over your time, what would be a couple of the real funny stories that you remember?
Well, I'll never forget, when in the old days, when you worked for an airline, you could host some great trips. You can take your customers under the auspices of hosting an educational trip, because they're meant to be educational. Well, of course, in BA, we had the luxury of operating these little excursions to Jersey and Guernsey. And I remember taking a bunch of supervisors at that time, because I was only a humble sales rep, but I had to host this trip of forwarders, and we took them to Jersey. And of course, you can imagine what a boozy bunch we were. And so I was trying to keep some decorum and making sure that, they didn't do too much in excess. So I thought, how can I kill time when I've got them for 3 days? So I thought, what a good idea would be to take them to Jersey Zoo. And I thought they'd love this. Well, of course, they absolutely hated it, but nevertheless did me the good favor of coming around. And as we were being shown around the zoo, there's obviously the stragglers, and I was keeping tabs with the stragglers to make sure they didn't get lost or they didn't disappear and give me a headache. And as we approached this particular cage with this huge orangutan perched, almost comatose in the corner, we have a comedian in any group, right? In this trip we had one or two. And I remember looking at this orangutan, and while the guide was giving us this wonderful commentary about how old this orangutan was and everything else, this particular guest of mine, who I won't name, was pulling all sorts of faces at the orangutan when it literally, woke from its drowsiness, picked up what was a huge truck tire, and before you knew it, wheeled it like a frisbee in our direction. And this tire thundered against the glass, and we all shrieked. Okay? And then the guide said, "Don't worry, gentlemen, this glass is 1.5 inches thick and bulletproof." To which my guest turned around and said, "F me, don't tell me he's got a gun as well."